It's the weekend. That means we've got new metal albums to talk about, and I'm bringing you my top 5. Welcome, metalheads. I'm the host of Heavy Metal Philosophy and writer for Metal Digest, John Barbas. Make sure you stick around to the end of the episode for this week's Album Art of the Week. And before we talk about my 5 favorites from this weekend, let's talk about some of the bigger albums that dropped today. First up, and I've been really looking forward to this one, Harm's Way with Common Suffering. That's that hardcore slam death metal from Chicago. This one will definitely be fueling several of my workouts coming up. We also got a new one from Code Orange called The Above, alternative metal from Philadelphia. These guys have had a very interesting trajectory, and this is just the latest entry. Check it out. And also from my stomping ground, Atlanta, Georgia, we've got 68. The name of the album is Yes and this is noise rock. But it's so heavy, we could debate if it's metal or not. I got my hands on this one early, and you know what that means. My written review is already published in Metal Digest. Links in the description to all my writings. Check it out. And this one's going to be kind of a theme today. This one's from Finland. Stamina with a 1 instead of an I. I don't know why they did that. The name of the album is X, and this is progressive thrash metal. Killer stuff. Go get it. And lastly, before we jump into the top 5, Nervosa with Jailbreak, all female fronted thrash metal / death metal from Brazil. I love this one. Coming in at number 5, Nox Eterna. I think I pronounced that correctly. Text is on the screen just in case. Every band's Bandcamp link will be in the description. The name of this album is Subject 17, and this is symphonic, melodic death metal from the Netherlands. Very heavy stuff here, and what I really like is, yes, it's symphonic metal, but they're not afraid to drop the symphony for a minute and just chug. If you're symphonic, that doesn't mean that every ounce, every second of the album has to have a symphony on it. Sometimes you can just give me a riff, and I like that. Coming in at number 4, another band from Finland, Omnivertex with Circulate. And this is technical death metal. And what I really like about this is it's not virtuoso technical death metal. They're not trying to show off all their chops and look at all these scales I know. It's just tech death because they are good players and that's a part of their songwriting, but it's not, look how fast I can play. What I really like is the chonky grooves on this one. I mean, come on guys. Chonky grooves? What else do I need to say? You know you want to listen to it now. Coming in at number 3, Disguised Malignants with Entering the Gateways. This is death metal from, guess where? Finland. That's right. And what I really like about this is it's this disgusting, like, eldritch space horror. It's that kind of death metal. It's horrific sounding in a good way. And I like that it goes slow and fast. So you got this dynamic range amidst all the riffs that just make your lips curl. That's that stuff I like. Check it out. Coming in at number 2, Wizards of Wisnam, or is it Wisnam? Text on the screen, y'all let me know. What I like about this is it's death doom / stoner doom from Switzerland. It's got that really deep guttural vocal that I love about death doom, but it's kind of prog sounding, it's kind of psychedelic, it's very heavy, but also weird. You know I like it weird, that's why it's number 2, check it out. And hey, before we do number 1, I just got a couple things I want to say to you. If you love metal, the way that I love metal, then you're in the right place and you should join the Heavy Metal Philosophy community because that's all we do here. We break down the best new albums every weekend exclusively here on YouTube, and every Tuesday free on all platforms as the podcast about, you guessed it, metal. And if you liked any of these bands, hit the like button because it helps spread the message far and wide. Thank you, and now let's do number 1. Coming in at number 1, Keras, or is it Keras? They're from France, so I definitely don't have that pronunciation correct. The name of the album is We Poison Our Young, and I got this one in my inbox early as well. My review is already published in Metal Digest. Funny story is in the description of the album that was given to me by the PR people. It says that it's extreme power metal. So I was like, what is extreme power metal? And I start listening to it, and I don't hear any power metal in this whatsoever. I was expecting to not like it because, I'm not really into power metal. This album is awesome. As soon as the chuggy riffs start happening, I was just involuntarily headbanging. I had no control over myself, and then the vocals come in. They're super heavy. There is absolutely no epic guitar work. There's absolutely zero triumphant power metal choruses. It's all death. This is way more like grindcore than it would be like power metal. So I don't know where that came from. All I know is, regardless of the genre, this music rules. So many times did I get stank face from these riffs, and so many times did the grooves take over my body. That's what I like in my metal, when my body moves without me telling it to. That's the mark of a good album, and that's why it's number one. But we're not done yet. Now let's talk about the album art of the week. My favorite album art this week, I'm back on my artsy-fartsy kick. We got La Special with Odd Times. You might notice there's some skulls on this. And y'all know that I normally avoid picking album art with skulls because every metal album cover has skulls on it. But these skulls have artistic merit because this is making a statement. Here you have the skulls with a clock on the forehead signifying time, and then you've got the forest on one side of the skulls that becomes desolate on the other side. And above, the reflection of it looks kind of like the earth. So I think you get what the artist is trying to say here. I found this moving. I found it fitting with the titles of the songs. It made me curious. That's great album art. And the band is unique as well. Think of like a jam band. If you went to one of those insufferable festivals full of stinky people and patchouli, that kind of jam band, except for their really heavy metal. I'm into that. I like it weird. I like it progressive. I like to nerd out on the guitar, and you can do all of that here. Plus, this album art is amazing, and I really like that one. And speaking of art, the last episode of the podcast, I did concert photography at a Cavalera and Exhumed show, and I also caught their slasher horror movie mascot with a decapitated head shooting blood all over the crowd, and I got photos of it. You can see it on the latest episode of the podcast if you just click right here. But most importantly, read philosophy, listen to metal. I love you.